Oh, in a minute. Don't look.
Hello. Look at what? How is everybody?
No, kill me. What?
Hmm.
I know. I spawned in a tree.
Hello. Well, I've said from the get-go when people have asked, I feel fine. The only symptom I really had was sinus pressure, and that's been gone since the day I tested positive. So, don't know. I don't know. But what was I gonna say? I don't know. I got so okay. Symptom number 2. COVID fog is very, very real. Lose my train of thought. My mom's texting me because it's double star day at Starbucks, and she is going to go to Starbucks and pick it up and drop mine off for me. And so she's going to tell me when I need to order it, and which is ironic because I just made myself an iced coffee, and had I known I was going to get one in the next half hour, I probably would have not made this one, but I took it away, or maybe I just had super mild symptoms or whatever. I don't know. Praising him regardless, because it could have been worse. Donnie's had all the congestion. Like his is mainly right here. He's got a little bit of a cough. His cough's not too bad, and it's not super consistent. It's unless he's sitting here, so he can correct me if I'm wrong. But what it sounds like more is when he coughs is more like he's trying to clear his throat.
Sure.
I don't know. That's why I'm saying he can correct me if I'm wrong. Ty has allergies and he takes medicine year round, and he sounds like he always does around this time of the year. I mean, like we have green grass growing in our yard. And so when that stuff kind of starts happening, he gets really, really congested and nasally and all that stuff. And so, but because we tested positive with basically the same symptoms, other than mine was just sinus pressure, obviously we're just all kind of living as if we have it, because we know we do. So the likelihood of our 3 having it is high, right? So not impossible for them to be negative, but unlikely. So anyway, but if it hadn't been for a positive test, I wouldn't have thought I had COVID. Just simply because sinus pressure isn't even on the list of symptoms. Congestion, headache, and I did have a headache, but it was all in sinus. It was right around my eyes and around behind my ears. That was it. So, anyway, but we are free on Monday and can't wait because we're going stir crazy, aren't we? They can't see your head.
Yeah, I am.
The homebody, the one who doesn't like to go out and would prefer to stay home, is dying to get out of the house. So, I even called the boys' dentist because they have, sorry, I feel like I have something in my tooth. they have appointments for Monday. And I called their dentist and explained what was going on to them. And they were like, if nobody's showing any new symptoms over the weekend, we will see you on Monday. Ah, hallelujah. We've since our positive diagnosis, I don't think Donnie, hey Josh, I don't think Donnie's quite as open yet as I am to the vaccine, but
I ain't doing it. Period.
But we've talked a lot. We have talked a lot about it. The new Johnson & Johnson one, because that's only one dose. And need another Dr. Pepper? Maybe tomorrow.
I need another Pepsi.
Josh is asking.
I need
Josh,
another Pepsi
listen,
now.
we hardly drink soda, do we? I mean, like since July, we hardly drink soda. Basically, the only time the boys get it is if we go out to eat. And even then, for the most part, Ty and Noah will get water or tea. And, but Carissa said she can get the Johnson & Johnson. Oh, you got the Johnson & Johnson. Okay, cool. But we were Donnie and I were craving, when I don't feel good, I want a Dr. Pepper, and I feel okay. I think it's just being stuck at home. I was like, man, for what days? I've been like, I just really want a Dr. Pepper. I just really want a Dr. Pepper. And we haven't done it, obviously. And so yesterday, Donnie was like, I really want a Pepsi. And so we texted Josh, who offered to run and pick something up for us. And he was sweet enough to bring us sodas. But Josh just got on. My mom and dad are actually making a stop at Starbucks because it's double star day. And I'm going to order something from there.
Can't get a Pepsi from there.
Can't get a Pepsi from Starbucks. That's right. So I am glad. So anyway, that's enough about what I've got going on, what we've got going on. How about you? How are you guys all doing? Listen, I am ready for today. I want to show you. I made a list for church chat. I did. I wanted to make sure I covered things today. And so I made a list.
Oh, crap. I can't have one.
Boys are playing games. Josh said he'll bring you one.
Sweet. The biggest he can find.
The biggest you can find. Oh, you want to throw that out there? It'll probably be ginormous. He's not scared. Now I'm just trying to decide what I want from Starbucks. So I have this coffee. I probably don't need another one. So maybe I'll do, yesterday I did a matcha latte. He said, you just want a 2-liter or did you want a fountain?
2-liter is fine.
Did you catch that, Josh? Lord have mercy. So anyway, so what's going on? How are you? Let's check in. How are you all doing? Who was I reading? I was reading somebody posted the other day. It was in the area. I really think it was in the metro area that they went to their, oh no, it wasn't in the metro area. It was somebody that I've become friends with on Facebook who is, you know what, this could be a topic that we talk about too. They are M's. If you don't know what an M is, I don't want to say exactly, I'm not going to say their name, but let's just say they serve overseas. Oh, Carissa, that's great. This weather, I'll come back to that. So, but they're home right now, and they are, I believe they're Indiana. Might be Ohio, but I believe they're Indiana. And they went to their local CVS and they were waiting for something. And while they were waiting, they were talking to the pharmacist. And in their area, the pharmacist said, that even like just a month or two ago, they were still doing around 30 COVID tests a day. And now they might do 2. So that's a good sign too, right? So this weather is wonderful. So I've talked about before, a dish we like to do for dinner is like smoked sausage and veggies. And I put them in a pan, like a foil pan, aluminum pan, with a little bit of olive oil and butter. And we do them on the grill. But our new grill isn't quite big enough to do 2 pans. And that's usually what we have to do. So we decided to put our grate on our fire pit and cook dinner on our fire pit last night. And it was so nice outside. I mean, it was so nice outside. The only thing is, all of that snow we had, the super frigid cold temperatures were for nothing, because Ty and I saw the biggest mosquitoes I have ever seen in Illinois last night. It is March 9th. Spring technically hasn't even sprung, and we got mosquitoes, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But this wonderful weather, we've had windows open and the door open, and for the last few days, because it's so great. And I also heard that we're supposed to get rain later in the week or over the weekend, so take advantage of it now, right? Anyway. She told me I can order. It's horrible. I think I'm going to do a matcha frappuccino with skim milk. And no whipped cream. Oops. Okay. Sorry. But I'm very happy. So Carissa is doing good. Phil's doing good. Grayson's doing good. What about everybody else? How's everybody else doing? Done. I said done. If you don't want to talk about how you're doing, then let's talk about what are you reading in the Bible. Oh, I do have to grab my devotion book because I do want to share something with you that was in my devotions this morning. So I want to pull that over here. Woohoo! See? You do it, you put in the hard work, and it's going to come together, Carissa. Yeah, I wish I had gotten to be at the church with the other ladies for IF, but I was so grateful that IF conference was virtual, completely virtual this year, and I got to watch it all from here at home. And for those of you who registered online, they extended being able to watch everything for an extra 24 hours. So you actually have till noon tomorrow to watch the stuff. So there's only like two or three breakout sessions I haven't watched yet. I don't know if I will, because they really don't pertain at all to my place in life. But I might go back and rewatch some of the main sessions, like Mike Todd's session or Christine Kane's, because those two were so good. Bianca Althoff she is my favorite. One of my favorite. Mike Todd, Bianca Althoff, and Christine Kane are some of my favorite preachers. And Mike Todd's part of our AG tribe. Don't know if you realize that. He is the pastor at Transformation Church in Oklahoma, AG Church. And he is on fire. That church is growing and doing really, really well. And And then, of course, you all know I love Annie Downs. And so the session that she kind of interviewed Rebecca Lyons, wasn't it Rebecca Lyons? And Lisa Turkhurst, I thought was really good too. But I might go back and rewatch a little bit. I told Donnie, I think I would, to make my family come in and sit down and listen to Pastor Mike's, because it was so good. It was so good. This was the benefit and the bonus of registering online, because you got access to it for a few days extra. So, anyway, so what are you reading in the Word? I am still in, I'm assuming Ashley and I think PC are doing the same thing. We're doing a Lent series with She Reads Truth, doing Joshua. And there's only a few more days left in Joshua, and then we jump to Mark. So I thought this was really cool how they did it this time, Ashley. I did the subscription. So I got the main books, but then this is the first time I've seen them do this, where it came with a small little book with the devotions. Like, this has the scripture reading, this has the devotion. Yeah, Mom, you can. And there was a session I told Dad you needed to play for him. Let me go back and look. Because I was telling him, I was like, oh, you need to have Mom play this session for you, because it was so good. Yes, a companion book. But I don't know if you've read it today. I really liked today's devotion. Yeah, really good. Oh, the Francis Chan session. What are you doing?
Going out to my truck. Going outside, man.
Dad will enjoy the Francis Chan session. That was another one that was really good. So today's reading for me, what Ashley and PC are reading, in Joshua was Joshua chapters 20 and 21. And for me, the part that just really jumped out at me, and I think it's because this is where I'm at in my life right now. It just really stood out to me. So today's reading was titled God's Promises Fulfilled, right? The Lord fulfills his promises. And in Joshua 21, let's see, Joshua 21, verses 43 through 45. So the Lord gave Israel all the land he had sworn to give their ancestors, and they took possession of it and settled there. The Lord gave them rest on every side, according to all he had sworn to their ancestors. None of their enemies were able to stand against them, for the Lord handed over all their enemies to them. This is the verse, right? This is the verse. None of the good promises the Lord had made to the house of Israel failed. Everything was fulfilled. Cool, Josh. I'm going to read that verse again. Joshua 21:45. None of the good promises the Lord had made to the house of Israel failed. Everything was fulfilled. That makes me want to run laps. He is just so faithful. And then the supplemental verses that came along with it. One of them is Hebrews 4:14 through 16. Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast to our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in every way as we are, yet without sin. Therefore, let us approach the throne of grace with boldness, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in time of need. So none of the good promises of the Lord failed. Everything was fulfilled. Therefore, let us approach the throne of grace with confidence, right? So good. And then the devotion for today, and I'm just going to read it to you because it's good. The one about what you want Sai to watch, I see that, unless there's something else. This was written by Rebecca Ferris. She writes quite a bit for She Reads Truth. It's hard to see your happy ending when it's happening. Right now, for the first time in 4 years, we're on a beach vacation. And I'm not jealous at all. My baby is napping upstairs, and my husband and our other kids are out splashing and sunning in the ocean. I mean, this is it. Settled family unity with beautiful scenery and a grill, but I'm not sure I've rested yet. Yes, I have little kids, and no one ever really rests until everyone is over 5, but let's set that aside for now. She ain't lying. She ain't lying. It's hard to stop and see the promises fulfilled to enjoy rest when it comes, because we're so accustomed to chasing and straining. But God does bring us rest, and we can enjoy it. We just have to keep our eyes open to his goodness. The book of Joshua is a record of God's fulfillment of his part of the renewed covenant in Deuteronomy. God gave Israel victories, but each victory required a step of faith. And I underlined that. Each victory required a step of faith. God's provision for the people as their leader and guide was recorded in this book and recounted to later generations. The Lord gave them rest on every side according to all he had sworn to their ancestors, is Joshua 21:44. I read that. And the rest he gave extended to every part of their lives. In the civil sphere, he gave them rule of his righteous law rather than the rule of revenge. They got to enjoy rest from the consequences of earthly vengeance. And this blessing extended even to those who merely associated with God's people. So even the neighboring people benefited from this blessing, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but even the neighbors, even non people that weren't a part of God's people benefited from this by just being near them. Come on. Look, I guess to me, I'm looking at our world the way it is. I'm looking at our nation the way it is. And if we will tap into all God has for us, if we will truly submit and commit to living according to his ways, our neighbors will even be blessed because we're blessed. If we walk in obedience, even our country that may not be completely serving him will be blessed. Like, why are we not committing to this? Why are we not all in? He also gave rest in the religious sphere, giving rest to his priests. The Levites received cities of inheritance in all the land. The work of the priesthood was acknowledged, and the ministers of God were provided for. Finally, he gave rest for every heart and mind, enjoying rest from their enemies and setting apart his people. God provided blessings that extended to every hearth and home, to every field and meadow. He blessed his people with victory and peace. Now, here's the next part that I really marked up. The foundation for any true rest is built on the fulfilled promises of God. God promised and delivered rest to his people. Although man threw away perfect rest and peace in the garden, God faithfully and continually rescued his people from the slavery and unrest of their own folly and brought them to a land of rest that he had prepared for them. Every Sabbath, every feast and festival tells the same story. The promise is for us also. One day, the chasing and straining of this world will cease, and we will find perfect rest and peace in him forever. Isn't that good? I just thought it was so good. So I'm really, anyway, like that one. And then I'm reading the Old Testament through in a year. And so this morning I read Deuteronomy chapters 10 and 11. And then, I'm reading the Gospels every month. So today I was in Matthew 25, 26, and 27. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, he is so good. So I am looking at another one in the Bible app for us to do as a church. So be watching for that in the next few days. If you would like to join us in that anyway. Before I move on to the next thing on my list, pause and see if anybody has anything that you want to share or say. When's the Enneagram start? So funny thing. I've been thinking about this. I kind of talked about it last week. I think that I might do it on my own page. Um, and then I got a text from my friend Christina asking me some questions about it. And she asked me to share about it on the um, ISM ladies monthly Zoom meeting Monday morning. So I'm going to be sharing about it then. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do it during the week or if I want to do it on a Saturday, start doing it like on Saturday mornings. I'm just not sure. I mean, yeah. I actually had my dad go through my office and bring some books home to me. And one of them I wanted him to bring home to me was my Enneagram and Bible and Enneagram Bible study thing that I put together a couple of years ago. And we couldn't find it in my office. He FaceTimed me. We couldn't find it. And that was yesterday morning. And I was sitting here today, just taking a break from things and sitting here in the chair. Because I also recognize that even though I don't really feel like I have symptoms, that doesn't mean I don't have something still. I mean, right? So I'm trying to rest. I'm trying to take this week and do what I can do, but also work as much as I can, as I can here at home. But I was sitting here and all of a sudden it hit me. I think I brought that book home a couple months ago. And so I looked in my ottoman and there it was. So I've already gone through it. So I guess I just don't know if it would be better to do like a Monday or a Thursday night. Yeah, he did. Or if Saturday morning is
What's supposed to be holding my camper shell to the bed of my truck?
Would you find it?
All 4 of them are out. You didn't tighten them very well.
I did.
anyway. So if you have input, give it.
I bought these for your birthday and forgot they were in the truck.
Sour cherries. Let's see. Oh, but for the church, remember during all the snow, I took a couple of Wednesday nights and I just talked about what we believe and why we believe it. Well, the first week I just quickly in an hour, not even quite an hour, I don't think, but I quickly went through the 16 fundamental truths. And since then, quite a few of you have come back to me and said you would like to go deeper in those. I'm not really sure what that's going to look like, but we're going to start that tomorrow. I'm going to start it from home. So this week, I will be honest with you, I would much rather do this on Zoom. Meaning, so like next week when I'm able to be back at church, we could do it. People can come if they want to come, but if they want to join via Zoom, they could. But like this week, I can't be anywhere but here. And I can do it on Facebook, but I would much rather do it on Zoom because the communication can be much better. I can share visuals if I have them, which I don't this week, but I just would really like that. Unfortunately, y'all don't buy into Zoom. And it's so easy. It's so easy to use and it's so much better than not meeting together. It's so much better than even Facebook Live because you can see each other's faces and you can interact and engage and share. And so there's that. But for tomorrow, I will probably do it on the church's YouTube and Facebook page. And we're going to start with the first fundamental, which is the scriptures inspired. So if you want to think of questions you have, write them down and bring them. You know what? I don't hate Zoom, not at all. I'm grateful for Zoom because it allows you to have face-to-face meetings. I like Zoom. It's safe, it's secure. It is I mean, if you're comparing it to well, I would not rather Zoom than meet in person. That's not it. But I'm grateful that we have Zoom for those times that we can't meet in person and we still want to gather. So I do. If you've never done Zoom, you're missing out. It's a great opportunity, a great way. I do a weekly Zoom meeting with our district, with the ministers in our district, and it's one of the highlights of my week. I get to see my friends' faces. I get to hear from our pastor, Pastor Phil, or from Pastor Gary. It's just amazing. So I think it's wonderful. But that's going to start tomorrow. So if you want to know what those are, you can go to ag.org, and then at the top, just tap on beliefs, and you're going to see our core doctrines, statements of faith, and position papers. Statements of faith are our 16 fundamental truths, 16 statements of faith. And we're going to talk about why we have these 16, and we're going to talk about the first one tomorrow night. So I would encourage you to grab a notebook, maybe take 15-20 minutes between now and tomorrow night at 6:30 and look up what that is. Again, it's ag.org. I'll just share it in the comments. Hang on. We're going to do that. So going back, if you are interested in the Bible and Enneagram Bible study, and you have a preference of doing it during the week in an evening or a Saturday morning, let me know, because I have not decided yet which I'm going to do. Let's see. What's next on the list that I made? Beliefs, statement of fundamental truths. Oh, Josh is here.
I thought he was on church chat.
That explains why he's not commenting, because he's driving and probably listening. Huh. Oops. Copy.
Boy. Thought you were on church chat, boy. Oh. Settle down. How much I owe you? Joshua? Thanks, boy.
There you go. There's the link in the comments on Facebook. If you are watching on YouTube, it is ag.org/beliefs/statement of fundamental truths. There. If you're watching on YouTube, you can copy that link in the comments, and you can have that if you need it. We also have postponed the annual business meeting originally, and we were going to start announcing it this past Sunday. But because of all this and Debbie and I not being able to be in the office, we're pushing it back 2 weeks. So it's going to be Wednesday, April 11th at 6:30. So mark your calendars. We'll have all of the information you need available when Debbie and I are both back in the office. There will be absentee ballots available. There will be deadlines on absentee ballots. And if you want to join via Zoom, you have to turn in if you're a member and you want to join via Zoom, you have to submit your ballot to get the link, your absentee ballot to get the link to join. So you have to turn in your absentee ballots, because we don't have There are ways to host what Zoom calls webinars that allows you to do voting, and that is completely legal. It is completely in accordance with the Non-for-Profit Act in Illinois. We wouldn't be doing anything in question, but we don't, number one, y'all haven't, like I already said, I'm not going to go there again. But we don't have that subscription. And so we're not going to do it that way. We are just going to encourage you to come in person. And if that's not something you're comfortable with, or if you are sick and you can't come, then if you've turned in your absentee ballot, we'll get you the link to join so that you can at least engage as somebody in the room. And we're going to have somebody monitoring, like as a moderator. So we'll ask you to stay muted. And then if you have a question, or if you want to bring something to the floor, a comment or something like that, then you would just type in the chat that basically, I'm raising my hand, I'd like to say something. And Pastor Byron or whoever we have moderating that will let us know. Basically, it'll be like, like if you were in the room, you'd have to approach a microphone to speak. So it'll be like that. And then you can unmute and we would be able to do it. Anyway, does that make sense? Because we want everybody to be able to participate, but we also recognize that there are quite a few who just aren't ready to come back, and we respect that. So on above and beyond that, though, 2 Sundays ago, we had over 50 in attendance. This past Sunday, even though my 5 weren't there, I know Jade wasn't there, Josh wasn't there, I don't know who else, but there were 42 I heard in the building on Sunday morning. So I'm super excited about that. Super excited about that. And we are still going to do the membership class this Sunday for those who would like to learn more about membership and become members. Pastor Byron and Kathy, my mom and dad, and Kathy Ritchie will be hosting the people who are there in the room. And then I will join via Zoom along with whoever else needs to join via Zoom. And we're going to do a membership class. You guys, we have a few people who said they wanted to come, which is really exciting. Thank you for wanting to make GC First your official home. Oh, she said she thinks it was actually 43. Woo-woo. So I'm excited about that. I even told Pastor Travis about it, and he's super excited that we have people wanting to become members. Which takes me to the next thing. Pastor Travis and Meredith are starting next week. This Sunday is their last Sunday where they serve now in Maryville. And then Monday, Pastor Travis will be officially with us. And Meredith will be kicking off kids on Easter Sunday. So, sorry. So super excited about that. Did you all hear on the announcements? I know there was some, things got a little out of sorts Sunday morning, but the first glance did play at the end of the service. And then we shared the link and sent the link out to the first glance. We are collecting candy for Easter Sunday. Meredith is putting little like goodie bags together for the kids who do come. And we are planning for about 15 to 20. That's a big step. That's bold. That's faith. That's believing. But we'd want to make sure we have plenty. So did I tell you what Debbie told me last week, you guys? I didn't, because we haven't talked, because I wasn't there on Sunday. She finished all of the February giving, and it looks like we brought in more than $4,000 for Project Rescue. Thank you. Blown away. Our next big offering is the One Day to Feed the World offering, and that will be April. Oh, I'm sorry. Our business meeting is not April 11th. I got to go look at the calendar our business meeting was supposed to be there. It's April 7th. Our annual business meeting is April 7th, Wednesday night, April 7th. One Day to Feed the World is April 11th. And Jeff Anderson from Convoy of Hope will be with us that Sunday morning to speak. So that's the next big thing. Easter is like our big, right? If you have not come back yet and you've been waiting for the right time to come back on Easter. If you have been wanting to invite friends and family to join you in church, invite them to Easter. You know, we are doing everything we can to provide a safe environment. Obviously you can do everything right and still get COVID, but, you know, it's, we're excited and we're ready. And then April 11th is One Day to Feed the World. Yay. So, got several big exciting things coming up. Annual business meeting, Easter. Well, let's step back. Pastor Travis and Meredith coming on board. Easter, the annual business meeting, and One Day to Feed the World. So, do you have any questions about any of those things? Okay. And the next thing I thought I'd mention is, you all know my heart, to see our church as a true reflection of what heaven will be like. You all know my heart for, wanting to make sure anyone of any race, nationality can feel at home around us. And so, a year ago, like literally a year ago, you guys, Gwen and I started talking about bringing some friends of hers that she went to college with at Evangel, who I have heard of. I've never met them, but I've heard of them, to bring them in to do something special. And then COVID happened. And so it kind of got put on the back burner. Well, we've locked in a date. September 11th and 12th. Is that right? Yes. We are bringing in Alex and Angie Bryant. Super exciting. Alex and Angie have been in ministry for a long time, a lot of evangelistic type ministries. Alex was, I believe, the director. Don't quote me on that, but was super heavily involved in the St. Louis Dream Center for a few years. But they have a great ministry. And so we're bringing them in and we're going to do, listen closely. We're going to see what the reaction is. On Saturday, September 11th, we're going to do a men's lunch with Pastor Alex and a ladies' lunch with Angie. Right, Donnie? I'm being ignored. And we're going to do, hey, Trav, Pastor Travis has joined in. Aren't you at school? Are we causing you a problem, Pastor Travis? Did my mom tag you and that drew your attention? And now you're not, don't get in trouble, bro. And then Saturday night, we're hoping to do something with Pastor Alex and for the youth. And then Sunday morning, Pastor Alex will be speaking in our main service. It's going to be really, really good. I just want you to know, like, we are planning. We are excited. I believe that God is stirring something. Yep. And I'm really looking forward to it. So super excited about that. Gwen shared, or somebody posted for Gwen or something in the Leading Ladies Facebook page that there is a ladies luncheon on May 8th. So mark your calendar for that. Here's something, the church is alive and well. I know, right? It's great. Here's something I want you to consider and really pray about if you haven't already done so. If you don't know anything about it, the Equality Act. and I want to be careful here. We want to love every single person, right? We want anyone and everyone to feel comfortable to come in and know that they are loved. Okay. The thing is, the Equality Act that is this week being voted on, I can't remember what day though, so my timing is rough, is being voted on in the Senate. This could be one of the most detrimental things to ever happen to the church in our country. I've been doing some reading and listening. I shared a video this morning from Pastor Doug Clay, our general superintendent. He spent maybe 3 or 4 minutes talking about it towards the end of the video. But if you go on Facebook and you go to AG News, or Assemblies of God News, I think it's AG News. Remember, for decades and decades, we had the Pentecostal Evangel. Every Sunday, it would be sitting out, right? So they changed that. You can print them off now on your own if you wanted to, but on Facebook, if you follow AG News, you're going to get it's the same content that you would find in the weekly Pentecostal Evangel. But if you go to the AG News Facebook page, you probably can find this. If you're not on Facebook, you can probably find it just by going to the AG website, ag.org, and looking up news. I'm sure you can find it. But Pastor Doug he wrote about the Equality Act. And I went today and sent a message to both Senator Durbin and Senator Duckworth. I copied part of what Pastor Doug shared. And I even said, as the superintendent of the Assemblies of God shared with ministers, and I pasted it in there, and my concerns and just how I hope that they will truly consider how this act impacts every American, not just some. I don't at all want anyone to be mistreated for any reason. I don't want somebody to be to have healthcare withheld from them because of their lifestyle. I may not agree with their lifestyle, but that doesn't mean I don't want them to have the ability to live. Do you know what I'm saying? The problem is that this act could require us to hire people that believe in direct what's the word I'm looking for? That live a lifestyle that's completely different from what we believe is important, because of the things we hold to. It doesn't mean that we don't love them. And actually, part of the Equality Act states that that disagreement will be, violation, that disagreement will be viewed as a discrimination. So if you disagree with how someone lives their life, it automatically is going to constitute as discrimination. So I would just ask you to really pray. But here's the other thing. We are people of the word, right? We believe that the word of God is true, which also tells us that these things are going to happen. These things are going to happen. So I guess just make it a matter of prayer. And if you are willing to, I would say today, send an email to one of our senators or both, and just let them know that you're praying for them and that you pray that they would make the right choice for all Americans. Oh, my Starbucks is here. That's my list, you guys. Do any of you have anything you want to I believe that Melba time is getting shorter and shorter. What was it? Christine Kane said it on Saturday morning at the If Gathering. That if you ask any woman who's had a baby, the closer she gets to giving birth, the closer she gets to giving birth, the harder the pains, the more intense. I think we're there. I think we're experiencing that and seeing that. I didn't get a straw. That's going to be hard to drink.
Take the lid off of it and drink it. It's got a hole in it.
Yeah, but it's a Frappuccino.
Sucks up.
It does. Pastor Travis will be our administrative pastor.
Let's see if I can find one.
It's a matcha latte. It's a green tea, but it's a Frappuccino. There's no coffee in it. Skim milk, no whip. So it's basically green tea, ice, and milk. I know it has a sippy lid, but it's a Frappuccino. It's really hard to drink a Frappuccino, a blended drink like that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm. It's about the only way I like a green tea is a green tea latte. Very refreshing. Anyway, anything else from you guys? They left the ice out of yours? Was it, you only get Frappuccinos. That's blended with ice. So they just gave you a cold coffee? Is that basically what it was? Ew, it was warm. Blech. Anything else? Any other questions? Or comments? Or anything that you want to bring to the table? That's legit, because we just had some. Yeah, I answered it. I said Pastor Travis will be our administrative pastor. I did. I answered her. That's all right. So basically, I just so you know, and I'm not saying this because of anything other than I want you to know, like, I'm not trying to hide anything. The Sunday that we announced this, I explained all of this. So we're not trying to pull anything or do anything. Debbie will be retiring at some point this year. If you have not ever needed anything from Debbie, then you don't realize, and Debbie would argue this. We tell her all the time she needs to stop. She really serves as the administrative assistant, very ministerial, very ministerial. And over the last year and a half to 2 years, looking ahead at what her retirement time would look like and her replacement, I want to make sure that we continue to keep somebody in that capacity, but also who will view it from a ministerial perspective. And so I told the board that when we were ready to look at finding her replacement, I wanted to change the administrative assistant role to an administrative pastor role, which many churches today have an executive pastor. So it's similar to that. It's like an assistant pastor who oversees the administrative side of the ministry of the church. So basically, he will be able to preach when we need him to preach. He's preaching his first Sunday, guys. He's preaching on the 21st. Be ready. Show up on here, show up in person, show up. But he can preach. Pastor Travis can lead worship if we need him to, or assist in worship if we need him to. Pastor Travis can teach. Pastor Travis has outside of vocational ministry, he has served in human resources and other things. And I'll let him answer it, but he brings lots of different experience need in that role. So basically, outside of Debbie for the next few months or so, however Debbie's time frame needs to be, and we're all okay with this. Debbie knows that we're okay with this, and we want her to know we love her. We're really gonna miss her, which is why we had to make sure we found the right person, really, to come in and join the team. But he's going to be working alongside of her and learning all of that and how we do things. And then his wife is going to serve our kids. You guys are going to love them. Pastor Travis is truly like a brother to me, a good friend. And Meredith is precious. Like, oh, you guys, she's precious. Love Meredith. They have 4 kids. Just for those of you who may have missed the announcement on that 2 Sundays ago, they have 4 kids. They have 2 girls and 2 boys. Their oldest daughter and her husband, they got married December of 2019, and they graduated from Evangel last spring, and they live down there and have jobs and are doing their thing. And their Mackenzie and Isaiah are super sweet. Love them. Their daughter Morgan was going to Evangel and transferred back to SIU here this semester. And she just got engaged. Morgan and her fiance attend O'Fallon Assembly of God. Then they have TJ. TJ and Ty are the same age. He graduates this year as well, and he is probably going to stay at Maryville. He's plugged into a few things and is committed, and I think that's great. And he's graduating this year. So, and then their youngest is Tyler, and he is, I think, between Colby and Noah. I think he is 14. I think he's 14. He might be 15. I think he's 14. And he'll be joining. He'll be coming with them, obviously. And so you're going to love him. You're going to love him. I promise. Actually, the response Travis and I have gotten from friends, mutual ministry friends, has been excitement for us to be together. And also, several have said, that church don't know. That church don't know. Just ask my dad. We make my dad nervous. It's because he's an old man and we like to have fun. Sometimes at his expense. But But yes, Josh is right. He is a jack of all trades, a great asset to our ministry. And I'm not kidding. There have been so many things that have happened since the decision was made to extend the offer for the role, and them accepting that. Just God's hand has been all over this. It is a huge step of faith, you guys. It is a huge step of faith for us as a church to do it, but we believe it is the right thing. And the timing could not have been more perfect. So, good stuff happening, and I'm super excited. My mom says we know about my dad. That's what she's talking about. So.
Colby.
Sorry, just being asked. Oops, why is that happening? Yeah, puppy toes. Anything else? Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other whatever? No? Nothing else? Okay, then. Make sure that you are, I'm not kidding. I want to be really prayed up. So if you have not, if you do not, if you are looking for something to step up your, sorry. Your prayer game. Don't forget that Josh does, well, actually, I'm going to make sure I'm right, because I don't think there's not prayer room tonight, right, Josh? Because of you've got meeting stuff happening. Is that this week? Thought that was this week. Or is it not on Thursday? I can check. I don't know if he's on, but I can check super quick. Didn't think I deleted it, but now I must have deleted it. There it is. Yeah, so there is prayer tomorrow, Thursday night, prayer room at the church from 6 to 7. I just really want to encourage all of us to really, really be in prayer, for yourself, for your own spiritual life, for our church, for our nation, for what the future holds. We want to continue to be the light that God has called us to be right where we're at, and to continue to support those who are serving all around the world, right? So be in prayer. Be in prayer for those who are dealing with illness, whether it's COVID or otherwise. Pray for them. And I know of some people who are really affected by this right now, not including our family. And so pray. All right. I think that's, if you guys give 30 seconds, see if anybody responds. If you don't have anything, then I'm going to pray us out. Let me pray us out, and we will speak, right? Yep. All right. Lord, we thank you for today. I thank you for those who have jumped on, and I know there will be a few who will watch this later, and I just pray that you would bless them, Lord. I pray that they would, as we look ahead to what you have in store for us, Lord, I pray that we would be sensitive and tender towards the Holy Spirit and the leading that he provides for us, that we would follow, that we would continue to step out in faith, that we would be obedient sons and daughters to the things that you have for us. God, we are excited about what the future holds. We believe that you're preparing us for something, and we're excited and we want to be all in. So help us to hear your voice. Give us the grace and strength we need to be bold and confident in our faith. Help us to be the light that you have called us to be, and to be your hands and feet. Touch those who need a touch today, God. I know there are many who just really, really, really need you to intervene in their bodies and in other situations. And we know that you're the one who can, and we believe that you will. So have your way, God. We trust you, and we would look forward to all that you have in store in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, everybody, have a great night. And I will talk to you. I'll be right back here tomorrow night at 6:30 to start the Bible study on the first of the 16 fundamental truths. Okay, see ya.